John, thanks for joining us for another edition of the CEO's blog. It's been a bit of a sad morning with the news breaking through of the passing of the great Kevin Newman last night.
Yeah, a shock to the industry, a shock to the fraternity, and of course the condolences of the entire industry I extend to Beryl and the girls, Julie and Debbie. It was a shock. Kevin Newman, he's larger than life, or was larger than life, and now he's not with us.
Yeah, so he was an icon of the sport, wasn't he? And I don't know, during your years working in the administration, as well as your family background in harness racing, you would have had some great memories of KB.
Memories. Working, Kevin had just retired from driving, but he was certainly an upper echelon trainer when I started at Harold Park. But he was a great guy to work with, great trainer to work with, but he was always full of wit and humour, and nothing worried him. Never an argument out of Kevin, and it's I think an indicator of those men of those years. And I took the halcyon days of the 50s, 60s, and 70s of harness racing, and they just got on with it. His great mate Kevin Robinson, sweetest man I ever met, Kevin Robinson. He was likewise. They had a job to do. They were master horsemen. They were fantastic trainers and drivers, and they just did it as it was.
Well, they were both living legends at Harold Park. I think there are only 7 living legends all up at Harold Park.
Yeah, 7. That was something that was introduced in around the year 2000, and whilst there were a lot of nominations for those posts, those positions, those honours, as a living legend of Harold Park, only 7, of course, there, and to date, there are only 2 of those gentlemen who have passed on, and the other 5 will hold the mantle until the time comes, and there's no one left.
Yeah, I think Kevin, he had the record number of winning premierships at Harold Park as well. I think, was it 10 training premierships or 10 driving premierships and 8 training or driving premierships?
Yes, it was 10 training and 8 driving, and it just showed, and that surprises me a little bit, because some people thought he was a better driver than what he was a trainer, but he was certainly adept at both. He was one of the best. He could tell some funny stories about his driving experiences. Quite often he'd get beaten on a favourite, not for any other reason than he got beaten on the favourite, but he'd tell me of times when he'd pull up in the ledger at Harold Park and there'd be punters hanging over the fence wanting to throw things and everything. And one day this guy's yelling and abusing him every time. So one day Kevin pulled up and he said, "Well, what's the 2 fingers?" He said, "Well, one's for you and one's for your horse, and just don't do it again." So, but that Kevin took that on the bat. But he was just an icon, a legend of the sport.
Did you have a favourite victory of his?
Yes, but it was probably, I was going to say before I was born. His association with the horse Halwes was something else. Trained by Orb Wesley from Tasmania, and robbed of an Interdominion. He should have won the Interdominion, but his good mate Kevin Robertson won it with First Lee. But he came out and won that second Miracle Mile, and Halwes and Kevin. But he had so many great horses, and of course when we talk about the greatest race, and I'm not talking about the Interdominion, of course, I'm talking about the Miracle Mile. Kevin teamed up with the late Frank Day and won the Miracle Mile with Friendly Footman. So maybe the Miracle Mile was his race, and not so much the Interdominion, but he certainly was robbed of an Interdominion Championship final winner.
Yeah, well, he was the first driver to win 2 Miracle Miles, Kevin.
Yes, he was, and I mean, he had so many starters, so that they were the types of horses that Kevin Newman had. He had the top horses, and if he didn't have them, somebody else wanted him to drive for them. So he had a great association with a great race.
Yeah, it's a sad loss, and unfortunate for me, I never got to witness him racing. I was born in 1986, the year he retired, but I got to meet him over the years, and it was a pleasure to meet him. So yeah, it's a very sad loss for the harness racing industry.
Yeah, and when I say that he was a beautiful man, his wife Beryl was his backbone. She was a wonderful lady. I'd be ringing them at Harold Park. We'd be short of horses week in, week out, meeting after meeting. And Beryl would be there and she'd say, "Oh, John, yes, I'll get him for you." And Kevin would come, "Yes, how can I help you out?" It was never a problem for him. But you said you were born, what year was that you were born?
Want to repeat
You don't want to repeat that? Well, I was born before then. And when we were children, we used to listen to the radio, or the wireless. I'm not sure what you younger people call it. But we'd sit round at the dining table on a Friday night and listen to Harold Park trots and Kevin Newman. He was the hero. We'd have to pick a horse each. I've got two brothers that are nearer my age and another one that's a bit younger, but we'd fight over who got to pick Kevin Newman's horse in the race. So that was there. And when he actually came to our farm, my father and uncle's farm at Rubyvale, Stan and Joe, we were in awe. We were in awe of this great horseman. And he bought horses from there. And then it was my absolute... The best thing that could have happened was go to Harold Park and meet he and other master horsemen, many of who have gone since, and we rely on those who are left. And I suppose of them, Brian Hancock has some heavy burdens to shoulder with the history of harness racing. A lot of young people don't understand what the history is, and well, anyway, we'll take it forward and we'll protect our history, but we must remember Kevin Newman.
We must. Well, there might be a new generation of harness racing participants coming through with the announcement of the arrival of Levi Tritton.
Yeah, from a sad point to a very joyous occasion, and congratulations to Shane and Lauren. A little boy. Remember, Shane, girls are better drivers, so you may have to try again. But congratulations to all three of you. I hope Levi's a healthy little fellow, and he joins the harness racing ranks with the likes of another young driver that I notice is coming through. He was at the stables for our Whips convention. That's young Archie Morris. Now he's certainly adept already at handling the horse. So harness racing's in good stead with these young kids being bred and coming through.
Yeah, well, Archie, of course, is the son of Kerry-Ann Turner and Robbie Morris. Let's move on to this Sunday, John. Big day out at Bathurst. We've got the Alabar Regional Breeders' Challenge Finals.
A really big day, and as we go to air, of course, the semi-finals will be tonight at Bathurst, and haven't they proven to be a success? The number of horses that are there ready to compete. So it'll be a great day. Fantastic racing on a fantastic track, and I invite everybody to make it to Bathurst. It's very central, it's very regionalised, and these are the regional finals, and there's some good money to be earned by some pretty good horses, and it'll be very competitive racing.
Yes, all right. Well, I look forward to it. I'll be out there. Trots TV will be out there as well, so it should be a good day.
I hope everybody's out there, Amanda. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, John.